Here we go, it's all about you, it's all about me, it's all about what we do. Making art, you and me, trying to find something to believe.
Capitalism is a major part of our daily lives. It is what is on our TV, on our phones and devices. For instance, what we see is media, advertising, beauty and politics. When we give into the minds of these enterprises, we become self-inflicted about comparing ourselves towards other people. We become more concerned about our public status in terms of winning, meaning success, than really focusing on our private lives, family and friends, metaphorically stating losing. The screenwriter for Little Miss Sunshine, Michael Arndt, read an interview featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger, where Schwarzenegger mentions, "If there's one thing in this world I hate, it's losers. I despise them." Arndt's response quotes, "There is something so wrong with that attitude. I wanted to attack the idea that in life you're either going up or you're going down. It's the winners that takes all of society, where one person is going to get the $1 million and everyone else is a loser." In Arndt's response, we see him communicate that Arnold Schwarzenegger's message of losers is fallacious. In the film Little Miss Sunshine, the director Jonathan Dayton uses a variety of scenes throughout the film to portray the idea and theme of capitalism being controlled by society. One of the most significant scenes which show a diversity of many techniques to manifest the idea was the gas station scene. An important technique used in the gas station scene was the use of mid-shots. During the first few frames of the scene, we see Frank Hoover, played by Steve Carell, buying pornographic magazines on the counter while his former lover is looking at himself in the mirror in the background of Frank. This shows a contrast in between both of their lives into what capitalism can do. In another mid-shot, we see Frank being encountered by his former lover. In the shot, Frank's back is shown towards the camera with his hands behind his back, and the distance between his former lover and Frank seems to be quite apart, symbolizing the differences in both of their lives. For example, the feeling of being alienated by society, his low confidence, and being left out of society, in comparison towards his former lover, who shows how wealthy and developed, giving a downward comparison, which means comparing ourselves towards those who are less fortunate than us in regards to Frank. The diegetic sound is also another important technique used in the gas station scene. After Frank's encounter with his former lover, Frank is paying for the porn and a song is heard playing in the background. This gives hints during the scene to manifest the contrast of being a winner. The fact that Frank is a homosexual man conflicts with the song about a heterosexual man talking about how lovely his wife is and that she thinks the world of him. The way the song has been put together is in the car matter, where we see Frank in a distressed situation of having an envy towards his life, because he has felt he has failed at accomplishing on what he wants to be, a pro scholar. With the technique of diegetic sound used, Dayton helps show Frank's self-consciousness in regards to his public status and wanting to achieve, and the inquintity of living in a capitalist society. Another important technique is the use of close-up shots. Near the end of the scene, we get a close-up shot with a shallow depth of field projecting Frank's facial expressions and the American flags blurred in the background. Frank's facial expressions explain his low confidence and envy towards his American dream, which is supported with the symbolism of the flags in the background of Frank. The flags are blurred to show the distance and alienation of society that Frank is expressing his emotions. Using close-up shots, Dayton manages to manifest the idea of the dissatisfaction in a capitalist society. MISE-EN-SCENE is also another important technique that helps manifest the idea. Throughout the whole entire scene, we see the continuous use of consumer products like magazines, packaging, candy, etc. The mise-en-scene helps support the idea in the gas station scene, giving it atmosphere and a bit more depth into the scene in relating towards Frank and his former lover, manifesting how consumerism is an idol in everyday modern life that controls us in what we do and seek to achieve. Dayton uses this technique to help symbolize the idea of consumerism in a capitalist society. In the film Little Miss Sunshine, Dayton uses various filmic techniques, such as mid-shots, diegetic sound, close-up shots, and mise-en-scene to help show the important idea manifested in the gas station scene. As an audience, we learn that the losers are the winners of a capitalist society. The losers are the ones who compare themselves to each other, and that's what they take in and try to make a living from it. The losers are the people who only focus on one thing, and that is wanting to be the best. When we do things like this, we're trying to become someone else, someone who is
Well, not us. When we compare ourselves to others, it's like trading yourself to someone. It's like trading a famous piece of artwork for a replica. The question is, would you do that? No, because the original is priceless. The connection in between this example is to show how important it is to never compare, because all we tend to get is the dissatisfaction of capitalism. If we only focus in wanting to achieve the American dream that we strive for, we will never get anywhere, not even close. This is when we become losers. This is why our connections with other people are important than striving for that American dream. If we focus more on the private lives, we then become the winners.